Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to take a look at the best 5 brawlers for every single modifier in the brand new ranked season. So there's 2 new modifiers, there's one that's returned, and there's also just a classic modifier. So this list will really help you understand on what brawlers to pick. You don't have to go these brawlers every single time, but at least it gives you a good understanding on what to ban and everything else. So we're going to be starting off with one of the new modifiers in Sick Beats. So if you're unsure what Sick Beats is, essentially all forms of slow, knockbacks, and all those kind of things don't work in this modifier, which allows more aggressive brawlers to make more pop-off plays. But I don't think personally, after playing this so much over the past 2 days, that this modifier really affects the meta too much. Again, it's going to make some of the aggressive brawlers a little bit better. So talking about aggressive brawlers, we start off with Edgar. So Edgar is going to get a lot better with Sick Beats. I don't think it's going to make him like an absolute insane brawler, but this is a brawler that's improved the most through this modifier. So of course, Edgar's biggest counters are any type of knockback, stun. So now Edgar can win 1v1s a lot more cleaner. Next on the list, we have Carl. So again, another brawler that's probably improved the most by far out of all of these. So you think about the things that generically counter Carl, it's any type of knockback or interruption that interrupts his super. Now, no one can interrupt his super, so it makes him a lot stronger. It doesn't make him like insanely broken, but now you can pretty much pick him throughout every single stage in the draft. Okay, so jumping into the next 3 brawlers that are really strong in Sick Beats, starting off with Meg. So the reason why Meg is so good in Sick Beats, in my opinion, is because she's a top meta brawler anyway towards the S tier. But not only that, when she actually splits into her small form, she doesn't get that kind of knockback, which really used to make her vulnerable. Now you just straight away go into small form and you're able to get some quick shots off easily. So I really love Meg in this modifier. A couple more brawlers that are really good in Sick Beats. Charlie's just good everywhere, and the main reason why Charlie's just even better in this modifier is because people are starting to go a little bit more aggressive picks, so Charlie can just shut them down easily. And considering she's a tank counter, other tank counters aren't really as strong. You know, for example, Shelly, the knockback with a super isn't even viable anymore. So at least Charlie hasn't lost anything really with his Sick Beats modifier. And then lastly, we have Rosa. So Rosa, you've got to really be careful of last pick Rosas. Again, you can't just pick Rosa everywhere, but on those grassy maps, nothing can stop Rosa. Any type of slow, any type of lose super, she can just run through everything. So I feel like she's improved the most. But as I said, with Sick Beats, I don't think these brawlers are literally the top 5. I just think these have improved the most. I think Sick Beats is a little bit underwhelming. It's not really shifted the meta too much. Now we're going to be taking a look at the other new modifier, which is barbed ammo. So I'm having to redo this segment because I've realized that there's actually a broken brawler that no one has really discovered yet. Stream chat, let me know. And it is RT. So if you guys are unaware what barbed ammo does, by the way, every single shot will deal like a tick damage like Byron, like Crow, and it will deal like an extra 4% damage. So the extra damage isn't really a lot, but the good effect about it is that it stops the opponents from regenning, just like a Crow Poison, for example. So you want to typically look at the brawlers which have good poke damage to stop the opponents from regenning. Also, I forgot to mention that in terms of the modifier split, both of the new modifiers are 20% chance of getting it, 10% chance of getting time detonation, and then 50% chance of getting classic. Now let's jump into the best brawlers for barbed ammo. So we're going to be starting off with Max Sense. So Max is really underrated on barbed ammo, mainly because you can spam out shots so quickly with Max, but she also has a lot of projectiles, so it's going to consistently get them poisoned up, stopping their health regen, and you can just eventually overwhelm them. And Max is super underrated in the meta anyways, and the pros really value her. Next we have Jean. So again, just like in quickfire, a lot of these brawlers were good in quickfire and they're good in barbed ammo. Main reason being they have a lot of projectiles and can just really annoy the opponents. With Jean anyways, your sole purpose is to stop the opponents from regenning at max range. That's why I really like Jean, just that poke damage. But with barbed ammo, it's like you've got Crow as a Jean. You can literally snipe them across the map with poison daggers, essentially. It's just really strong and annoying. Next we have Stu. So I know he doesn't have any like good quickfire ammo or anything like that. Well, no, he doesn't have like a lot of takedown potential on this modifier. But the good thing about Stu, same with Jean as well, with his Magic Puff star power, is that Stu has some kind of healing element. So he can kind of out heal the barbed ammo. He can just kind of forget about the poison and heal up. Same with Magic Puffs with Jean as well. And same with any brawler with any kind of healing. It's pretty underrated on barbed ammo. Also, you've got the most broken one, which I spoke about briefly at the beginning. It is RT. So I've not had a chance to play RT myself yet, but I've seen some clips of it, and he deals like 3k damage with one shot. I believe it's a little bit glitched. I don't know if you guys are trolling. Again, I've seen some clips of it and it looks very strong. So if you get the chance to play RT, play it before people realize that it's so strong. It's definitely the best brawler in barbed ammo, and I'm just unsure how like these glitches kind of get through, but for now, just abuse it whilst you can. And then lastly, it is nannies. So I had the feeling that really big damage heavy hitters would be really good in this modifier, but the reason why nanny's so good is because you can also get that chip damage in as well at maximum range. It's really easy just to keep them low, keep them chip with nanny, and then eventually you can get that big 4.8k shot and you can one shot or just, I don't know, deal insane amounts of damage anyway. And it's a very sharpshooter meta, so nanny's always going to be good no matter the modifier. Now moving into the final modifier, this one has returned from the previous season. It's time detonation. So if you're unsure what this does, essentially after like 45 seconds the map will be fully open and only sharpshooters will be good on this modifier. So I think this modifier does actually replicate a lot of skill in my opinion, because sharpshooter versus sharpshooter, I like that element, but the only thing I don't like about it is that the meta is just so stale. But the good thing is you only get this 10% of the time. So the best brawlers on time detonation, you just have to rewind back to last season. Starting off with the best brawler in the game, Angelo. Of course, Angelo's going to be insane. I never got the chance to play Angelo yet because everyone has figured out now that he's just the best brawler in the game. So I can never show gameplay of it. But believe me, he's just insane. Of course, he's got very fast movement speed and he can one-shot so many brawlers in the game. The next one being Piper. So Piper still gets banned out a lot on time detonation, but if you get the chance to play her, she'll just absolutely pop off easily. And you've also got 4 homemade recipes that can just confirm kills every single time. The next one being Melody. Again, she's getting banned out all the time, so I don't even get the chance to play her on time detonation. But if you get your chance to get her, she's insane. Main reason being is because you can apply so much pressure once you get your first set of supers. And, you know, snipers typically can't deal with aggros. So with a 9k HP Melody running into their face, what can they really do? The next one's going to be Nanny. So of course, with Nanny's insane range, of course it makes sense to go her on time detonation. Not only that, you've got a super that can counter loads of squishy sharpshooters, and just overall a good nanny can just tap and one shot so many of these meta sharpshooter brawlers. And then finally we have Belle. So the reason why Belle is so good, even though she doesn't deal an insane amount of damage and she gets countered by the other meta sharpshooters, a lot of the time they're banned out. The likes of Piper, Nanny, Angelo, they're banned out. So when you've got Belle against all the other sharpshooters, she's going to win because she has a hypercharge which allows her to win that 1v1 a lot easier. So now we're going to be moving on to the best 5 brawlers in the classic modifier, and we're going to be starting off with Angelo. So again, I didn't get any gameplay of him because everyone bans him out, but trust me, if you get the chance to go Angelo, go it every single time, every single map. Even on a close range map, just pair Angelo with like a wall breaker and you'll just destroy everyone. His super is just so good. You're able to one-shot every brawler with it and get passive healing. He's by far the best brawler in the game right now. Next we have Charlie. So Charlie is the brawler that everyone underrates. For some reason, I managed to get Charlie in my drafts every single time. I guess she's not the most toxic brawler out there, as people ban her more often, but she's easily like the second best brawler in the game right now. In competitive, she was played all the time, and the main reason being is because she's such a good shutdown. Any type of aggression, you can just put them in a cocoon and get a free kill every time. So the third best brawler in the game right now in the classic modifier, we have Melodies. So brand new brawler in ranked. I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. She was just broken when I played her on ladder. Didn't really play her too much since. And I got my hands on her literally for the first 4 or 5 hours of ranked, and then people finally started to realize how broken she is. She's just so good across multiple game modes. Brawl, gem grab, heist. Even on knockout and bounty, I'm having good success with. Sometimes it takes a little bit of extra skill to pull her off and get used to her mechanics. But in game modes like Brawl and heist, it takes 0 skill to get used to her. Make sure you use the shield gadget and you'll just wreck everybody. So next up is the 4th best brawler in the game right now. I went with Larry. So even though people still think the nerfs have caught up to him, trust me, they haven't whatsoever. He was one of the most picked and banned brawlers in competitive recently. But not only that, Larry's just insane. It's just so hard to deal with a Larry, especially because throwers, you need some type of aggression in your composition to counter Larry and Lori. So his win rate wasn't the highest in competitive, but he's still just being played absolutely everywhere. He's super versatile and you can never go wrong with this brawler. Moving into the final brawler on the list, we have Cordelius. So he's still absolutely insane right now. His hype charge is really strong. It takes a long while to get it, but still just Cordelius on his own is insane. So main reason being, he just counters so many different brawlers with his Shadow Realm, and it does take a good player to actually get into a good position because of his short range. But with his jump gadget, he can just dodge so many attacks, jump over walls, get into so many good positions. He just counters so many of the top brawlers in their meta, like Melody, Larry and Laurie, for example. And because if you go over Cordelius in the draft, then the opponents literally can't go a tank because you'll delete them. They can't really go a throw because you'll just jump over a wall and delete them. So he's super versatile. People don't ban him often enough, and he's still one of the best brawlers in the game easily. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know who you find good in one of these new modifiers, because again, I feel like they're very underwhelming, which I'm not complaining about, because, you know, modifiers like Big Friend and Quick Fire were extremely overwhelming. They changed the meta completely, and they made it really unskillful. So at least, you know, we still get the same old meta, but just with a few twists. But yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.